We are the Great Valley Mountain Biking Team, and this is the 2026 opener orientation video for. It's geared towards new riders and new parents, but certainly we share this information pretty widely, and it's good refreshers for even returning families. Um, and just know that this is a very unique sport, as we were talking about earlier. It's so much fun, but it is something that's very new to a lot of families. So there's bound to be tons of questions that you have, and feel free to just reach out whenever you need to. You can reach us on TeamSnap quite easily. Our head coach email, you can send it there. You can find my phone number in TeamSnap as well. You can text us there. So we're happy to answer any questions that you have to help guide you along in the season. All right, there we go. All right, so we're just going to go over some general information about the team, the season, and as more like a self-service as well. Afterwards, there's a whole wealth of information out on our website. Here, our YouTube videos got some cool stuff out there to show what it's like to be with the team, ride with the team, do some of the racing events, all sorts of things. Facebook, we try to keep that pretty fresh and current with what's going on with the team. Same thing with Instagram. All right, there's our quick agenda. All right, so about GVMTB, so Great Valley Mountain Biking Team is what it's short for. So we are a co-ed youth mountain biking team founded in 2016. Somehow survived and made it through the COVID pandemic. I wasn't around at that time with the team, but somehow they kept it moving along, which was great. And we are going into our 10th year now. So we average around like 30 to 40 students that ride with us each year, but it ebbs and flows every year. Eligibility is for children that are entering 6th grade or 12th grade in the upcoming fall semester, for as long as you live within the Great Valley School District boundary lines. The PICL, which is our governing league, that's the way that they do it. They do it by school district lines that are set by the states. And every team is associated with their school district. You got a pretty cool heat map on their website as well. It shows like all the different teams and their boundary lines. It's pretty neat if you got a chance to go look at it. So our philosophy, so first and foremost, is safety, and you'll see that throughout the season, certainly, but you'll see that throughout some of this content in this slide deck as well, when we talk about some of the coaching requirements that we have. But it's definitely enforced in everything that we do, from coaching. All of our coaches, even the lowest entry level coaches, get base level first aid training to help identify and treat concussions, and know how to do follow-ups. And then our intermediate and our advanced coaches, or level 2 and level 3, they call them. They get more predominantly or substantial first aid trainings, and they get those on a recurring basis. And we'll see that in our rides as well. If there's any kind of concern with safety or any kind of inkling that something's off with a rider, like, everybody will stop and everybody will do what they can to make sure that that rider is safe and being accounted for. So on our team, so a little bit different than most sports out there. So there's no tryouts for the team. We don't have any benches or rotating rosters where people get playing time and things like that. You'll see everybody that's on the team gets to ride every time that they show up for an event. So we always have groups that are accessible for every type of rider, regardless of what their skill level is. So we aim to also provide a great positive experience for riding for our riders that align with NICA. That's the federal or the national league that governs us. And NICA is the national league. PICL is the Pennsylvania league. So we are bound by their core principles and their policies and procedures. So their 5 core principles: fun, inclusivity, equity, respect, and community. So the practices that we do, we try to certainly challenge the riders and just make sure that they're having a good time overall. But permitted, or as we see that they are able to progress, we might challenge them a little bit more, but only if they're willing to do it and we see that they're capable of doing it. And if not, and they don't want to do it, there's no pressure ever to really force anybody into doing something they don't want to do. All right, just some general like metrics and numbers about the team. So we talked about some of this before. So we average anywhere from like 30 to 40 student riders. We represent 6 area schools. That includes private schools as well. So it's not just Great Valley School District public school. So we have kids that go to private schools that are on the team as well. And we also have some homeschool kids. So it's agnostic to the school as long as you live within the boundaries of Great Valley School District. We have 5 distinct rider groups that cover different experience levels, about 20 coaches right now that are certified and trained for the year, 10 years of program growth. We ride about 14 different trail systems that are in the area. I'll show you that in a little bit. Over the past few years, we've ridden about 7 unique race courses during race season. When our season kicks off, we do 3 rides per week, and it comes out to around like anywhere from 40 to 50 rides over the whole year. So it's a pretty long year. But I should just preface it like the practices are practices and they are optional. Nobody's forced into going. There's no reprimands if you don't go to a practice. We realize that it's summer. We start in the summer. Kids have other sports. We've got a lot of soccer players. We've got a lot of football players and baseball players and track athletes. Like almost all of our kids play multiple sports. So we realize there's a lot of conflict. So we have a pretty broad schedule of events that we do, and it covers a very long time throughout the year. Um, so just know that that's why it's structured that way. So we have a lot of options to get involved if you can make all of them, but if not, it's whatever works for your schedule. You come out and have a great time with us. All right, we do maintain a fleet of loaner bikes for inclusivity. We've got there is a girls riding it together program as well. That PICL runs, and it's aimed just to getting girls more comfortable and more involved in different programs. You'll see great events hosted throughout the year by PICL. All right. We also are involved in our community pretty widely. So there's a program within the team called Teen Trail Course, where which is active right now and has been active since about March, and will go all throughout the season, where we basically go out to local trail systems like Marsh Creek State Park, Harmony Hill, Brightside, which is up by the high school, and we volunteer our time and help clean up and build trail systems. So these are numbers I think as of last year. So for last year, there was around like 175 hours that we put in throughout the team. This year, we're trending ahead of that. I think we're at like 120 hours so far throughout the whole team of trail cleanup volunteer time. Yeah, so we've got partnerships with the different state parks in the area, Pennsylvania DCNR, Malvern Borough, a variety of different places. So just some key figures to get you started about the team. Feel free to just chime in if you got any questions. All right, so about the team structure. So our team is structured. These are those 5 riding groups that I was mentioning that we have, and if we have enough riders for the season, we'll likely fill out these 5 groups. But if it's a lighter season and we have less riders, we might only use like 3 or 4 of these. But we have these distinct riding groups, and it goes from anywhere from like total beginner up to more intermediate to our more advanced groups. These are names: Honey Badgers, Mad Dogs, Ghost Peppers, Full Speed, and Blue Riders. So in that order. So we have these sectioned off because we don't ever want to force kids to ride with riders that they don't feel like they're equipped to ride with, or might be riding trails that they don't feel comfortable on. It's all about just getting people in a consistent ride group that all ride at a very similar pace, and can help support each other on those fun rides. Um, so when we start out, we'll like with Liam, we'll start him out on honey badgers just to get things started and just see how he likes it, see how he's taking to it. Um, and then we'll open up conversations with Liam, with the parents, with you guys, and just make sure that you're comfortable. If coaches see that his skills are progressing, he might need to move up to something like Mad Dogs or Ghost Peppers.
Okay.
But Liam rode really well with us at Valley Forge, so he was awesome. So I could definitely see us having that conversation. But we won't do anything, without your guys' consent. Like, as long if if he wants to stay with this group and he's got friends in it and things like that and he's comfortable with it, that's absolutely perfect. And there's no concern with that.
Okay. So moving to the different groups, that's just through coaches noticing or children saying
Mhm.
something. Okay.
Yeah, like outside, all the coaches talk outside of practice. We have coaches calls just to help manage team operations, and that's a constant topic that we have. Is just discussions on riders and how they're fits. Are they fit appropriately? Does anybody need to advance or get pulled back, or whatever it may be. But we will make a notice, and even if it wants to come from the family as well or the rider, and we've had that before where they want to be more challenged and they come to the coaches. But we will always take that feedback, and we'll discuss with the parents as well. Just make sure that they're okay with making
Okay.
the adjustment. All right, so the team leadership. So this is our leadership structure. So our team director, Hans Kosiano. I don't think you met him yet. I think.
We're friends with their family.
Oh, are you? Okay, great.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, he is our team director, newly minted this year. Our backup. We always have a backup, or a backup director, Scott. So he's an OG for GVMTB. I think he's been here since the very start, 2016.
Wow.
So he's great. He rides with our advanced group, and is really fun to ride with. Knows all the trail systems in the area. Very good rider and very good motivator of kids. So myself, Kevin Zebrowski, I am the head coach for this year's, just starting this year. It's my third year with the team. And Jason, who you just saw on the call, he was the head coach, I think, starting as well since like 2016, right around somewhere after that he transitioned to the head coach. But he's been with the team for a long time. And we have a whole host of other roles on the team that coaches help out with to help keep the operations going. This is just a list of some of them. Finance and treasury, people who work on apparel management, team swag stores, sponsorships, trail core, mechanics, online, multimedia, safety, whole bunch of stuff. And then we've got all of our coaches, everybody that rides with us. We've got about 19 looking like for this year, 19 or 20, right around there. They're all fully trained, all background certified. They go through annual training regiments just to make sure that their skills and clearances are all up to date. And then just last note on this slide is just that you don't need to be a coach in order to help out with the team. We welcome help from family members, riders, coaches, anybody that has some time that they would like to give to the team and get supporting with volunteerism. We welcome that and certainly love to talk to you about it. All right, so yeah, we already talked about this a little bit, but yes, coaches are highly qualified to run the team and also ride with the riders. So this is just another breakdown of the different coach composition. So we align to the NICA and the PICL training requirements. So all of our coaches have to go through the training regimen on an annual basis and make sure that they're up to date on everything, or else they're not allowed to participate. So it's very important. that we have that done. So level one is like the introductory coaches, first year type coaches, but they are essentially allowed to ride and are basic first aid trained on riding, but they're not allowed to lead rides or anything like that. But they ride along and support. Ride two or level two and level three, there are like the more advanced coaches, so and head coaches and directors. You'll see those as the level three coaches. And just another reminder about volunteering. We certainly welcome any help if you are interested. All right. Any questions so far, or going too fast?
I don't think so. We're good.
All good. All right. Season overview. Into the good stuff. All right.
I
So
do have to let you know that my battery's dying. So if we disappear, it's not you, it's us.
no problem. All right. Well, I'll try to breeze through this so we can get through your charge. All right. So the season outline. So again, the season looks like it's very, very long. There are things going on pretty much throughout the calendar year, but a lot of it is just season planning and prep that the coaches do, which is like what we're in right now. So the preseason, coaches are very involved all the way from March up until the beginning of the season. We have we have to do all of our coaches, registrations, training. There's a coaches retreat where everybody gets together and discusses like how to grow the team and different cool things to get involved with. Um, we plan out the season, where we're going to go, locations, races, a whole bunch of stuff. So that's been going on. We do trail maintenance as well in the preseason. Riders are able to go to that as well. So there's no limitation to how many times you can go to that. We do a team vacation to Kingdom Trails, Vermont, for anybody that's interested in going. We actually just went, that was 2 weeks ago, mid-June. We went, lots of fun, great time up there. The weather this year was awful up there, but we still made the best of it. But really fun. Um, that's an official event. So because of our the insurance that we have with NICA and PICL that we provided, we can do only limited uh, riding events or on the bike events with riders for the season. So we get an allotment of 5 rides in this preseason period. So that was one of them, the Kingdom Trails ride, and then the one that where Liam came to Valley Forge. That was another one of them. We've done a couple practices at the Brightside Farm Park. Those were another 2, and then I think we had one more. But that's why we only have about an allotment of 5 rider events that we do in this preseason time. But trail maintenance, you can do that as much as you want. All right, and then when we kick into the actual season, or in season as we're calling it, that starts in July after the 4th of July holiday, goes all the way to the end of November and kind of like early November, or end of October, early November time frame. So when in season kicks off, it starts in full. We've got 3 weekly practices. And the next slide will show you more about that. We mix in what's called a local dirt. It's like a fun race event. Not really competitive, not for standings or anything like that, but it's just it's a way to get riders familiar with what a racing type atmosphere feels like, and we do it with a couple local teams in the area. We do an adventure ride, which is at the end of August. PICL, or the PA group, they host that at a location of their choosing, and then we go, and it's a lot of fun. They set up games and stuff like that out on the trail, and we all go ride for the day. It's a lot of fun. And then PICL hosts 5 race events beginning in around mid-September going through about mid-October. So that's race season. And then towards the end of the season, once racing is done, we kind of widen things down. We still have our weekly practices, and then there is another PICL adventure event called the Raystown Radness, which is a weekend camping adventure in Raystown Lake, PA. Tons of fun, really, really cool event. So there's more information on our website about that. I'll show you that. And we'll do some fun theme rides, like really chill rides. We'll do like a fun Halloween costume ride somewhere. We'll do like a stroll over to get some ice cream somewhere, and then we have a picnic at the end of the year, where we've been doing it in Charlestown Park in years past. Just over here on the right, we don't need to go through these. It's just a list of some, not all of the dates. This is just some key dates throughout these different phases of the season outline. So check it out. And our website and TeamSnap, of course, will always have the full schedule of events. But a good place to like see it all in one place is on the website. All right, practices. So our practices, when they kick in, which is July 9th this year, next Thursday. So they start off, we go from 5:30 to 8 every Tuesday and Thursday. We try to get everybody rolling on the bikes by 5:45, but it's a lot like herding cats at the beginning of practice, because it's, with traffic and everything like that, we've got a whole bunch of people in cars coming from different locations, all trying to coalesce in one place. And then get everybody prepared, get their bikes checked, get their equipment on. So we usually end up rolling out around like 5:45 or so. But once a group is ready, and they have all of their riders for the day that are signed in and ready to go, they can go. So we don't all go at one time. It's just whenever a group is ready to go, that group then and their coaches roll off. So it's really important when we get to practice that we take care and do what we need to do. We get stretched, make sure we got all of our gear in order, and then go start finding friends that are in your group and get them all together and stay together. Get on the bike, get ready to move, and then once you do that, you'll be sure to have the most amount of time out on the trail. As of right now, we are not riding with lights, but come probably the end of September. I think it's September 20th, around there. The daylight's going to be diminishing a lot during our practice time frames. So we will require that kids have lights to ride, because we're going to be riding about half the time, or maybe like the last hour, in darkness, which is a ton of fun. And we adjust the practice schedules as well. Like, we don't do anything like really difficult. Or too technical at the end of that practice, just because there's limited daylight. But it is a lot of fun riding in the dark with the lights, and the lights that we have. We all have suggestions if you have any questions about which ones to get, but we typically will recommend that you put one on the handlebars, and that you put one also on the top of your helmet. So the one that's on your handlebars, go with the bike. When you're steering the bike, it will direct in that direction. And then the one that's on top of your head, where you can look ahead to see where you need to go, and it'll light up where you need to go. So it's a lot of fun though, riding in the dark. So at that time though, when it starts getting darker earlier, we would shift the practice back to 5:15. That's about as far back as we can move it. It's like we've tried in the past moving it to like 5, and just nobody can make it there on time. So about 5:15 to give us a little bit more daylight to work with. The Saturday rides, so for the Tuesday and Thursday rides, so they'll typically will ride for about an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours. And you get a good ride out of it, and you have great practice. The coaches try to focus on not just outright training or anything like that, but just stopping, making sure that kids are comfortable. If they see something that they like, or a feature like a big, I don't know, a rock or something like that they don't know how to get over and they want to try it, we'll stop and do what's called sessioning, where everybody will stop, gather around, look at it, talk about it, and we'll discuss strategies about how you would hit that on a bike and do that. So certainly in our beginner and our intermediate groups, we do that a lot, and definitely promote doing that. The advanced groups don't do that as much. They pretty much just ride the whole time.
Mhm.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
but we certainly support that and want to make sure that kids have the ability to ask questions and try things out and keep repeating and repeating until they think they get it right. The Saturday rides are a ton of fun. So these are kind of like our team adventure rides. Um, so they'll go a little bit longer in distance, a little bit longer in time, and we drive out a little bit further to get to these places. So there's a lot of really cool trail systems in our area, but they're not exactly within what we would call like the practice sphere, right? They're a little bit further away, so you have to ride out a little bit to get to them. So I'll show you a map in just a few minutes to show you what that looks like. But our Saturday rides are always a little bit further out, but tons of fun. So yeah, and we recommend additional hydration and nutrition for these types of rides. And for hydration, I mean, there's another slide which discusses required gear and stuff like that, but we typically recommend having a bottle cage on the bike, and and if you can have these things, or if you there's no allergies or anything like some kind of an electrolyte drink in
Mhm.
that bottle in the bottle cage. And then a lot of kids wear those the water backpack harnesses on their back, and those work out great because then they can get like anywhere up from like an extra 1 to 3 liters of water in a nice, easy, drinkable vessel. And then also the bag gives you the storage that you need to put in some of their other gear and snacks. Occasionally, we will have like a Sunday fun ride. They're not on the schedule right now, but there could be some like, pop-up rides that we do throughout the year. So just keep notice for that, and also trail maintenance events. So we don't. Some of the trail maintenance events we run ourselves. That like the ones in Brightside Farm Park. We just did one last week. But other ones are run by the park systems themselves. Like in Marsh Creek, we coordinate with DCNR, the trail steward there, and he's got a rotating schedule of different dates, and there's no consistency. It's sometimes Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, sometimes it's the middle of the week. So we just go with it, and whatever he agrees upon, we see if we can accommodate those days. But sometimes we'll see those pop up at non-standard days. All right, yeah, as promised, practice locations. All right, so these, and I'll just open this. You click on this, this will open up another link. Let me know if are you seeing the map? Okay,
Yeah, you're
so
breaking
this is,
up a little.
oh, apologies. Yeah, I'll keep going, and the connection might be bad. So this is the practice and adventure ride location map. So that was on this slide, but this is the actual interactive map. You can go to this and explore around as you see fit when you have this slide that we'll send out. The
Mhm.
blue locations or the blue tags, these are our common weekday practice locations, and you can see like there's the black tag. This is downtown Melbourne. So you can see the blue ones are all relatively close. I think our farthest place is probably Marsh Creek, but everything else is pretty central to Melbourne. And obviously, the green ones are a little bit further away, so they take a little longer to get to, but they are excellent and tons of fun uh, to go to. But we just don't have the time, and nobody can make it there on a weeknight, so that's just why we don't do it. All right, so and the weekday locations, yeah, some of them are really close. Some people maybe only 5 minutes for them, depending upon what the location is. But I think the furthest one is Marsh Creek, and that on a bad day with bad traffic, it might take 45 minutes. But it all varies. Okay, yeah, we covered this stuff. And then the weekend locations, there are some that are pretty easy to get to actually, like Wissahickon only takes like 30 minutes. But there's a really fun place up in Allentown called Trexler that we go to, which is an amazing trail system. It's like the highlight of the year for everybody going here. So it's a little bit further. It's like an hour and 15, 20 minutes, something like that. but well worth the trip. Um, Kids really enjoy it. They probably do it every weekend if we allowed it, but um, so we'll go there once a year. But I think that's about our furthest location for the practices. For the races are somewhat of a different story. All right, and then so for practices, so for practice attendance, let's just note that the practices they do start in July. July and August are really important time frames. Although everything is optional, as I was saying, there's no repercussions or penalties for missing practice. Nobody's going to think badly upon any rider if they're not showing up. We understand everybody's busy and you got a whole bunch of things going on. But yeah, if you can make it, July and August are a really important time to have riders, especially new riders, um, to attend, and that's where the coaches can really get familiar, get to know riders, see what their abilities are like, and start having discussions with them about if they want to improve skills, if they have questions about things on their bike or how to ride something on the trail. We can diligently work with them to help them along, and also assess their skills and have conversations with parents about possibly moving them into different groups.
I
Uh,
think my husband told you we're out until probably the second week of August, right?
yes, yeah, he told me that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it is vacation season after all. Yeah, we got a couple other people that do the same thing, or I think we got somebody who actually goes up somewhere in Northwest New York and loses themselves for like a month and a half,
Oh,
and
wow.
then they come back ready to hit the season. But yeah, no, everybody's got their own things that they get into, and that's totally fine. But if you are around, certainly make every attempt to come out because the practices are a ton of fun. All right, and then Team Snap is our mode of team management and communication. So get that installed. I think you're already set up on it. I've
Mhm.
been chatting with you, so no problems there. But Team Snap, you get that invite when you sign up for the team. Um, just make sure notifications are enabled on Team Snap if it's not already, because whenever we chat or some new event gets posted, you'll see a notice on your phone. That's probably the easiest way to see when things are changing. Um, and another really important thing is just you probably do this for other sports as well. Just make sure, just get in the habit of like before a week starts, just go through and just check the events that are upcoming for the week in Team Snap, and just set your availability for your rider. Um, and even if it's a maybe, like you're not sure yet, just set it as a maybe. That's fine, but that's some kind of notice is better than no notice,
Mhm.
because we will um, only the riders that are actually saying that they're going to be there or maybe be there are going to get allotted into one of the groups. So we have like a system um, that we set up where all the different attendees are getting looped into their specific groups, and then when everybody arrives for the practice, we're all trying to find those riders and get them grouped up. So if you show up and you weren't on the list, it just we'll make it work, and it happens a lot. It just takes more time to deal with, and we just have to you know just kind of come up with plans on the fly. So it's much easier if everybody actually has their availability already set. All right, pickle adventure and racing events. All right, so this is another in season, but this is within the season. We do our practices Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, and then, like I mentioned, starting at the end of August, Pickle will do what they call an adventure opener, and it's kind of like a kickoff to their racing season. And their racing season goes, I think, 5 weeks in a row this year. Sometimes it's different; it staggers a little bit. But I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, they have the Pickle opener adventure ride, a week break, and then they do 5 weeks in a row of all of their races, and then their events are over until we go to Raystown. So it's very quick, but the races are a blast, and so are the adventure rides. So I mean, I won't go through this now, but you can come back here or just go out onto our YouTube video. This is just a video. It shows you one of our race recaps from, let's just say, Williamsport. But all of our different races from last year are out there. Just different recap videos show what it's like to be there. Um, and if you're interested in racing at any of the races, I would certainly recommend it highly. Even if you don't want to race, I would recommend just coming out to a races. We've got most of our races this year are pretty close, with the exception of Williamsport. That's 3 hours, 15 minutes away, so it's a little further away. The rest of them are within and under an hour, or like just over an hour, so pretty close. So even if you don't want to race, which is totally fine, I would recommend just coming out because it's fun. Just you can get involved with the team. You can help doing what's called the feed zone, water bottle management, giving water bottles to riders and making sure that they have nutrition. You can help with checking bikes and just hanging out in the tent. It's a really good time. So it's kind of like it's a racing atmosphere, but it's also kind of like a little bit of a like picnic party atmosphere at the races. It's a ton of fun. So check out these videos. It gives you a kind of sense of what it's like to be there. All right, pickle event schedule. All right, so all of these events that we're talking about, so practices plus these pickle events, these are all on TeamSnap, and everything's loaded in there. And it's also on our website. You click follow the link here, and go to the website, and you can see all these events. The practices are somewhat self-explanatory. You show up, ready to ride, we ride, and we do a practice. They're pretty routine. These pickle hosted events are a little more complicated. So they typically, like with all the races, it involves multiple teams from sometimes the whole state is invited to go. Other times it's just our conference, which is like a subset of the state. But when we go to the adventure rides, it's the same thing. It's a bunch of other teams that go there at the same time as us. And Pickle runs those, so there's a lot more involved with those events. They're a ton of fun, but there's just a lot of like particulars and ins and outs with those events. So they will, on their website, you can follow the link here, and they will have all the information about that, like where to park and like registration deadlines and links and all sorts of information on different riding categories for riders and what they're going to be doing. There's a whole bunch of information out here. We will always have everything on our website as well. This is actually a picture of our website and these different events for the year. This is the 2026 pickle events. So this is our adventure ride going all the way to Raystown Radness. So we'll have a specific page on our website which details some of the stuff about the pickle event, but also we'll put things in there that are specific just to our team. Like, everybody's staying at the Residence Inn in Williamsport. We're going to meet up here for dinner after the race and things like that. Things that Pickle wouldn't put on their site, of course. But you'll always be able to find between our site and the Pickle site, you'll be able to find everything that you need. Yes, and so Pickle sometimes, I mean, they're constantly updating their website. It's definitely, when it comes to race season and the adventure openers, like they are updating details pretty consistently. So our coaches and our leadership, we keep checking out there for updates, and whenever we see updates, we'll make sure that our website gets updated accordingly if it needs to, and just communicating out with the team. But certainly go to our website for information that's specific to the team, and you can always check that Pickle site for any news. Yeah, we talked about that. So at these events for races, definitely, Pickle will reach out and ask for volunteers. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, you can certainly do that. And they'll have links on their website about that. It's things like they ask for like course marshals if you want to ride. They ask for people just to sit at um, help with trail setup, setting out the different fence lines. Sometimes there's like crossways and stuff in between the race course. They ask people to if they just want to sit there in a chair and just hang out and just sit there like a person with a flag and tell people to go and stop and go and stop. There's all sorts of things that they will reach out and ask for volunteers for parking assistance. So they'll just be aware that that will be coming out, and they'll have like sign up geniuses set up for that. So on race days as well, when you have a day that you are assigned to racing, that day is the day that you would call what's called pre-riding the course. And they open up a very small window of time on that day where everybody who's racing for that day can go and test out the course, essentially. Um, so you'll see that term floated around. That's what that is. But we always have coaches, coaches at every race. We get our tents set up. Um, we have all the different mechanics set out, tables, chairs, and all sorts of nutrition set out for the riders. But we also we get there and we are available for pre-riding the course with our riders that are riding for that day. Yeah, and your rider category that will be published by PICL. That will be put into pit zone. And they adjust rider categories at the beginning of the year. They typically don't do it in the middle of the year or the middle of race season, unless somebody is a new rider that they haven't seen before. But if you're like a perennial rider that they've seen before, you'll be within a consistent category. And you can also make petitions, or coaches can make petitions to PICL to make adjustments. So it happens sometimes where, like, I think it happened to us last year where we had a rider that was in JV3 and somehow got into JV1 just because of their age, I think, but wasn't really ready to ride JV1. So we petitioned to move back to JV2. And PICL works with us on that. It's not a big deal. If you are in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, though, you stay in that category group. And these category groups, there's like subsets of it as well. So like, say for instance, Liam going into 6th, or is he going into 7th? 8th. Okay. So you're going into 8th. So within 8th, what they do, all the 8th graders will go out into the race starting gates, and they'll all get sectioned out. And they give them their race plates, these little color dots, and then it's based off of like historical race results. So the kids that ranked higher in prior races will get like a certain color dot, and they'll all go first, right? And then everybody gets a different set of colored dots, and then people that haven't raced before, or or just kind of doing it for fun and not really trying to go too hard, they go last. But that's how they break it down. So it's not all 6th graders and 7th graders and 8th graders all going at once. It's like 8th grader wave 1, 8th grader wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, sometimes like up to like 6 or 7 waves. And they do that to just try to like space out the kids, so there's not too many people riding in one place at one point in time. Okay, any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. So did I see that Liam signed up to do some races? Is that correct?
Did you? Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay, all right. So still deciding. Yeah. So I would definitely I would recommend going out to our website and just check the different spread of these races. And this first one, is a far ride. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, if you want to come, like, absolutely, like, I'm not gonna try to dissuade you from going. I'm just saying this one is you need lodging, um, and it's a lot of fun, but you got to drive like 3:15 to get there.
Mhm.
This one is very close to us in Battle at Belmont. This is in Philly. Um, Probably 30-minute ride down there, very close if you're looking to like try out a race event. This is a really cool one. The course is really cool too. It's like pretty flat, very fast, and there's some cool features on it, but it's a very fun and flowing course. Um, Birdsboro is about 45 minutes away. Blue Mountain's a little over an hour. Bear Hill is about an hour away.
Mhm.
So this, I think Belmont's that's the closest one. All right, costs and equipment. All right, so when you decide to register, so there are essentially two options for you. So if you do not want to race, which is totally fine, then there's no problem with that. The For this year, the total cost is 360,
Mhm.
and these are what are included in that. So it's paying like and pickle registration fees. It goes to all like the insurance and organizational processing fees. And then there's $100 team fee as well that gets paid directly to Great Valley Mountain Bike Team later on in the season. And that's to help us offset our internal team um, processing costs. That $100 also goes towards a team jersey that will be coordinated um, around like mid to late July, and we'll have those ready for uh, like late August and before the race season starts. If you want to race, so then there's a couple of sub options, I guess, if you will, if you want to race. Um, so you have to pay the 260 plus the 100 for the
Mhm.
team dues as well, so the 360, and then there are optional fees for racing. So you don't need to do this, but if you want to, you could pay for each race individually. Like you could do two races and just pay $100 for
Mhm.
those two races, or you can just pay the 95 and it gets you an all-in race package. So all the five races, it allows you to register for those. Um, and then whatever you which one you wanted to go to, you could go to.
What
So we always go ahead.
what's the time, like, do they have a certain date where they have
Mhm.
to sign
Yes,
up for a race?
register by, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. Let me. All right, I'm gonna share something else. Just give me a sec. Okay. All right, you can see the website, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we have those loaded out. This is our website, season events, and there's an important reminders calendar out here. That is listed out here. Um, so the deadlines. So for Pickle Race One, Williamsport, deadline is the 8th of September. It's always they say it's the Tuesday before the start of the race. And then if you were to go to the Pickle site, you could see that as well, in greater detail for each event. But we put it out on our website as well, just for like ease of consumption. Um, yeah, so kickoff Planet Pen. This is Williamsport. Whole bunch of detail out here, and then under registration, you can see, yeah, registration closes 8 p.m. Tuesday before the event. So you can see just like how much content they have out here. They put maps out here, like the different ride courses, like where you should be parking, like the different tents and where we need to put tents up, and a whole bunch of activity. If Yeah, what food trucks are coming, like tons of stuff. All right. that answer your question?
Kevin, there is a date
Yeah.
for, I don't know what date all-in registration ends, but I don't want to say a date without checking, but that is usually July 31st is the last date to get a race plate. And
Oh,
then after
okay.
that, there is like a specific date where the all-in, because it's the best deal, closes,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then you're into
Yeah.
race per race registration.
Yeah,
So.
if you're doing anything more than one, it just makes sense to do the all in. Yeah, if you have that or you can find it, just let me know. I can put that out on our deadlines calendar.
It was in an email from Pickle. I just couldn't find it by the time I turned my camera on. So
Okay. All right,
cool.
no problem. All right, and Abigail, she dropped off. She said her battery was about to die, so we'll just keep recording this for posterity's sake and share it with everybody afterwards.
Great. I'll mute.
Yep, no problem. All right, so we were just showing the different events and the registration deadlines. Yeah, so that essentially covers it. So if you don't want to race, it's 360 all in. If you do want to race, it is anywhere from 410 to 455 for this year. Okay, there are scholarships available provided by a variety of different partners, Pickle, NICA, Trek. There are options out there, and there are some more information out here on Pickle's website at this link for financial aid. They have an application process that you can go through, and certainly, I think that's if this is something that would interest you and you would like to try, certainly go out here and you can submit the form there, and somebody would be out in touch with you to help you research different either financial aid or scholarship opportunities. All right, required gear to get you rolling for the season. So, number one, definitely need a mountain bike, a minimum of 2-inch wide tires, front suspension, flat bar, which is bars that go straight across, not like what you would see on a road bike. And anywhere from like 7 but 8 plus gears are recommended. Um, a lot of what our riders have on our team are anywhere from 10 to 12 gears. They seem to do very well for our riders. Um, the helmets, yes, there's certainly a lot of different options for a helmet, but these follow one that is recent, free of defects and damage, and aligns to one of these listed standards. We ask that all riders also carry a spare tube, which you can see here, some nice tire levers, a multi-tool, and a riding light, which we talked about earlier in the call as well. So these are all things that hopefully we don't need to use for the riders, but it does happen from time to time where somebody has a mechanical issue on the trail, and we have to everybody has to stop and attend to that and get that person back up fixed so we can all get rolling again. So if everybody brings one of these things, we can always be sure that we've got enough tools and supplies to help whoever might need that help at that point in time. Sneakers, definitely need nice, athletic, durable sneakers. You can get I mean, they make specific mountain bike shoe sneakers that I would recommend doing. But certainly, if you've got like trail running shoes or hiking shoes and stuff like uh, that are pretty durable and have nice grippy soles, those would do fine for mountain biking. We don't recommend doing especially for introductory riders or beginner riders any kind of clip-ins or anything like that. Those are typically only reserved for like our more advanced riders, and we don't really suggest that to the riders. But if it's something that they want to do on their own volition, they're welcome to. But certainly something like like this. There are tons of brands out there, and if you ever have any questions at all about any of the gear, bikes, equipment, whatever it may be, pretty much every coach on the team is a total biking gearhead and loves talking about the different required gear. So we would be happy to talk to you about recommendations and point you in the right direction. Lights, yeah, again, there's another whole bunch of options out here for lights, but at a minimum, we suggest one for the handlebars and one for a helmet mount when light season starts. Go out to our website as well to see a full gear list and other information about where we recommend going to get some of this gear, especially bikes, and also looking for discounts. There's some good information out there about discounts. Speaking of discounts, so when you become a registered rider on the team, you are eligible to receive, if you're a rider discounts and benefits, and coaches as well who sign up for the team and get registered through NICA, get a whole complement of different discounts that are available and offered exclusively to NICA riders. So a lot of them are pretty substantial as well and very well worth it. But certainly, if you're looking for a new bike, Trek is one of the common ones. You get a 25% discount on a new bike purchase. Specialized bikes, same thing. It's about 25%. Bikes online, I don't recall what the discount is, but I think it's 20. Canyon Bikes has a big discount. I think that might be all of them, but um, you can get substantial savings by using these discounts. And it's not just on bikes themselves. You can use discounts. There's a whole bunch of different vendors that are out on this site you'll find here for buying things like nutrition, apparel, footwear, bike equipment, supplies, like racks, tools, like, you name it. There's a vendor out there with a discount for NICA athletes. So we've saved, and our coaches have saved lots of money over the years using these discounts. So definitely a great benefit to being a rider for NICA. All right, team loaner bikes. So part of what we do as a team as well is that we own and maintain a fleet of what are called loaner bikes. I think we have about 10 right now, 10 total loaner bikes. It ebbs and flows a little bit, but about 10 that we have a dedicated mechanic on the team that oversees these bikes and makes sure that they are in good shape and working order, and going to be working properly for some of our riders. They're not rental bikes per se, but they are meant to offer out to kids that maybe need to try out mountain biking, don't know what it's like, and want to see what it feels like to ride on a proper mountain bike, or kids that don't quite have a mountain bike just yet and just joined the team. We've had kids who damaged their bike and it was in the shop for a few weeks and needed a loaner bike, so we offer loaner bikes in those cases. And we have other kids that for whatever reason that with the family they can't seem to get a bike at this time. There's limited supply at times, which is actually going on right now. You can't really buy the bike that you want, so a loaner bike could help fill that need. So we offer these. It's a limited supply and limited sizes, but we certainly do offer these for riders if they do need it. And if you need it for less than a month, there is no fee to acquire having a loaner bike for the team. Certain terms and conditions obviously are going to apply that you'll see if you ever go through the process. But if you need it for greater than a month, there is a $150 fee for that loaner, and that just helps us cover all the different parts and maintenance fees that are associated with our annual maintenance for keeping up those bikes. Okay, and if that is something of interest to you, or you wanted to learn more about that process, you can follow this link here, and it'll take you to all the information that you need. All right, so next steps in the process. All right, so if you have not registered for the team and don't want to quite register yet, and you just would like to try it out, or maybe try it out a second time, just come out and hang out with the team and see what it's like, and get a feel for what mountain biking is like with GVMTB. We recommend just reaching out to us. Use the website. There's a contact form out there where you can reach out to some of the team leadership and just inquire about finding a time to try it out. And we can certainly help set you up with a loaner bike at that time as well. But definitely, if it's something, even if you just not quite sure, you're like 50-50, uh, I would say just reach out, contact us. Once you get on the bike and try it out, you may find that you really enjoy it and your rider really enjoys it. You want to give it a go. So if you're at the point where you are in and you want to register and join the team, you go out again to our website. There is a join page which provides all the details that we've probably covered in this presentation. But you can go out there and you can actually submit your information to officially join the team. And from there, some of our team leadership will be reaching out to you to help guide you through all the different subsequent processes. So just submitting this form doesn't actually doesn't actually require any kind of payment, or it doesn't make it official at that point, but it's the first step in the process. If you are already registered, or you're a returning rider, and one of the things that we always ask people is just if you have a good experience, certainly broadcast around, tell your friends, family, associates, tell them about your experience at GVMTB, tell them and let people know that we exist and what we do, and let them know how much fun you've been having. And if not, and there's been some problems, certainly we'd love to hear the feedback as well to help try to make the team run better for all types of people and conditions. So definitely spread the word. Word of mouth I think is a great way that we grow. Also, just a note about donations and sponsorships. Also, so we are a certified and registered nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization. So everything all the revenue that we collect for the year goes right back into the team, into all of our annual team expenses, things like all the purchasing team bikes and all the different race setup and supplies that we have, coach and training fees. There's a whole plethora of types of things that we have to pay for throughout the year. So we really rely upon donations and sponsorships from our local community. So if you're making a donation, or if you are on a business or know somebody with a business that is looking to sponsor somebody, certainly direct them to this link here, and it'll take you to the sponsorship page and show you the different options that are available to you. All right, so there are no questions because Abigail had to drop. And just to close out the call, so there are some additional helpful resources that you'll find out here. Is just some of the other partner sites that we work with. Our main contact for the head coach and director. I also recommend going out to this page on our website, the Great Valley Mountain Bike Team Helpful Resources page. It's got a bunch of FAQs about here, common questions that we receive, and some of the answers to there. It also will have this, we will post this new rider and parent orientation video out here as well from the current year. So if you needed to see it and read the recap, you could do that at your own time. And also some helpful links about some of the different partners that we deal with throughout the year. All right, so that wraps it about up. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out, use our website, use the contact us form, Somebody from team leadership will be in touch with you as early as possible to help answer your questions and see about getting you to try things out, or see about how we can make your experience all the better with Gray Valley. All right. Thank you.